Hey, Shawn, if you're ready to go, I think we can get started. We have like almost 20 people have joined. And I'm going to get back on mute really quickly because I am at the beach. At the end, I'll send out a reminder email to let everybody know that we have a LinkedIn account, a Twitter account, and to please check our website because we'd like to have more of these events. And if you're ever interested in sharing and doing a 15 to 20 minute Zoom meeting, we'd love to have you participate. So Shawn, if you're ready, I would love to pass it over to you. And I can't wait to hear about Rub-a-Dub Hub.
Thank you, AJ. Let me go ahead and get my things in order here real quick. All right. All right, can everybody see me? All right. So what the deal is, before I start, my camera is on the lower left side. It's not centered. So it looks like I'm always going to be looking off to the right. So I apologize. Doesn't mean I'm trying to ignore you or I don't have good personable skills, but just want to let you know that I'm going to work with the equipment that I have. And I just want to thank the Magic Board for presenting this opportunity for me to talk about something that really just kind of snuck up on me a little bit. Sometimes you are working with GIS and you get an opportunity to browse around on the internet, and you think, well, if I've got a problem, how could GIS help to solve that problem? So one day I was navigating around my stuff, I guess my GIS stuff, and realized, well, I got my crime mapping website in one location. I've got my GIS property search application in another location. I've got my Tipton County GIS board information at a different location. And I have my data at a different location. So I was killing myself trying to realize that, why do I have everything located at different locations? What, there's got to be something out there where I can put just everything into one spot. So I would have less confusion for myself and for the citizens of Tipton County and for any other users out there in the world. So I started doing a little bit of research, and I guess it really started to grow, or I guess there was a starting point at first, and I'd like to share something here real quick. So hopefully now you should see the Shelby County Regis page. If you can see it, nod your head. Very good. So I spoke with Ben Lundberg, and he showed me this website. And it had just a basic description of their organization. And then you could go to their gallery and look at some of the maps that they had produced, that they had released to the public. And I thought, hey, Ben, this is pretty cool. This is a way for me to show some of the stuff that I'm doing, at least on an application perspective. But it really wasn't complete. So I set mine up. So here's mine. And you can see I've got description there, and I fit my gallery. I've got just the 3 maps that I've produced that I share with everybody. And I was satisfied, but I wasn't happy. I knew that this would work in the meantime. This was a start. And then I knew that I would have to take it to the next level. And then I started again to do some more research, and I started to remember, well, what about what Timothy Zimmer had with Shelby County 911? Now, he's had this open data portal for some time. And it's really great because he shares his information in a platform where you can download the data, you can look at it, all this kind of stuff. And I said, well, hey, that's a cool piece. Maybe is there a way I can try to incorporate this into something that I'm looking for? So I was looking around, and of course I went back to ESRI, and I said, well, maybe ESRI's got something that I'm already paying for that I can utilize to share my information better. And so I went under products. This is the ESRI homepage. I went to products, and I went to their geo-enabled products, and then I went to their Geo Hub. And as you can see, they've done a very good job of describing to you what the Geo Hub is. It gives you what it can do for you, and examples, case studies, and even a section for capabilities, resources, all this kind of stuff. So basically what I did was I stuck my nose into the web page here and kind of taught myself, increased my knowledge of what Hub was all about. And then I went to pricing. Well, features gives you, again, more in-depth information if you want to take a look at it. And then I went to pricing. And pricing kind of described to me, well, included with the ArcGIS online subscription, you get the basic. These are the things that you can do on the left-hand side. And there's also a premium version for an additional annual fee. I don't know how much that costs, but you can see that it offers you a little bit more functionality, which is driven towards more of the initiative platform. And I want to share what Rob had written up for us. And he did it a very good job of describing what the Hub is, and a cloud-based platform included with all ArcGIS online subscriptions that allow users to create a single access point for sharing GIS data across their teams and with the public. These sites and pages can also be used to share information about specific topics, projects, and plans. So I'm not necessarily interested in the more advanced features that the Hub offers under premium. I'm not looking to really create any stances or try to save koalas or anything like that, but just an avenue for me to share Tipton County GIS, everything about what we are in a simple, single platform. So my next thing that I want to talk about is engaging the open data policy within your ArcGIS online environment. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in here. So hopefully you know how to log into your ArcGIS online account. And you can see my platform. And basic stuff, right? Just tells you your licenses, your credits, all that kind of stuff. What you want to do is go to settings. When you go under settings, it gives you the option down here on the lower left for open data. Now, if you're going to share data and some information with the outside world, you have to enable this function. Now, once you turn this on, it creates a new group, a new kind of permission group that is called the Tipton, well, in this case, it's under my organizational name, but it calls it the Tipton County GIS GeoHub content. And it also creates a team for you. So if you really want to get into this, you can create a team that is dedicated to updating information, creating the information, sharing the information, just a new way to share responsibilities or ways that you want to share your organization with everybody else. So once that is completed, the next thing that I had to do was actually go to the ArcGIS Hub page. Now that URL is right here. If you want to write that down.
Hey, Shawn, is it possible to link to that from your ArcGIS Online page? Or do you just have to go to that URL?
I've got it as a favorite on my bookmarks. So it is, I've got it as a separate page. I think you probably could.
I mean, I guess I was just wondering, does ESRI build a link into your ArcGIS Online account to just jump straight to that?
I know that the page, the hub page is different. It's got a different, and I'll show that to you when I sign into it to show you guys the back end stuff. But I never really looked for it, Rob. I just created the link separately. I imagine if I dig into here, I probably could get to it, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. All right, so if hopefully everybody's wrote down that URL last time here, so I can share it. So once you go to this hub, it's a wonderful site that breaks it down by the different tabs here. Each tab has information about how to create this hub. And I'm telling you, it will take you a day just to go through all this stuff. It tells you how to get started. It tells you about community, tells you about certain initiatives, sample sites, how to share your data, and how to create your teams. So it's got a very convenient search bar here if you have questions or specific topics that you're looking for. But this is where I start if I were you. If you truly want to join in on possibly using the hub within your organization. So the next thing that I want to do is actually show you my hub. If you go to, this is our Tipton County government website. It's just tiptonco.com. And what I did was I put on the front page an opportunity for somebody to click on Maps Online. Or if you go to government, all county departments, you scroll down to the GIS, you can do it from there as well. So right now, there's only 2 places that you can actually get to my hub on the tiptonco.com. Before, it was all over the place. So I said, well, you know what? I'm just going to limit it to those 2 places. And on my government department page, I just had my picture, who we are, and then my departments, a couple of goals, and then my contact information. Before, I had everything on this page. It was nuts. And somebody would have to scroll all the way up and down and all this or whatever just to find information. So I said, okay, let's just put everything on the hub. So I can either get it from there or, like I said, on the front page. I passed it. So click on my hub. And that is my URL for my hub. And as you can see over here on the left-hand side, it is, since I logged in to my ArcGIS Online account, you'll see your edit page, and then it also gives you your organizational login up at the top right. But just imagine that those two are gone. You can see here, I've put some links to different organizations, and there's a search bar, got a picture of the courthouse in the background, a little explanation of what this is, disclaimer, our motto about serving the mapping needs for Tipton County, and then some other things. You can see I've got my interactive mapping website, my crime mapping website, traffic counts. This is where you can download data, my story maps that I showed you earlier before, PDF maps, and statistics about my data. I also have additional documents, paper form, digital data, our bylaws, and our cartographic standards, and then the big logo with my contact information. So that's cool and dandy. Visit there again live. So now how do you actually get this working? So here is the actual URL for the hub interface, and I'll pull that up here. Right there. So if you want to sign into your ArcGIS Hub, that is the URL, and you log in with your credentials. So it's going to present to you an overview page. Now, since I've already got a website created, it will show you just an opportunity to create a website. In this case, it will just, you hit new. So what I did was I created a new website, and it gives you a default template to start from. It does not, it doesn't start you from scratch, but it gives you a little bit of help. It gives you some different boxes where you can start creating your website. And there's also another section here which allows you to see all of your content. And when you create your website, you will come to another page that breaks it down for you on different things here on the left-hand side. And each one of these gives you options to tailor and to clay your site to how you want it to look. And it really is super easy and gives you a lot of options, almost to the point where you can probably drive yourself mad. But the great thing is that you can tinker with it and toy with it to make text larger, to make it different colors, to add boxes, to change colors, really all over the place. So I'm going to quickly go over some of this back end here under settings. This is where you can name your stuff. You can give it a summary. Maybe you know what a favicon is, or favicon. I have one that I've created for our Tipton County website, which I'm a webmaster. So that's just the URL to that favicon. You can do your domain. Here is URL preview. You can choose how you want to have your domain. You can use the hub.arcgis.com, which I've used, or you can use the open data arcgis.com, which is the old one, which is what Timothy had used for 911. Data, it's just, you can call it whatever you want to put in the front. So you can say, you can make something up. You can do Rob-Tipton County GIS Hub, or Shawn. You can put something in front of there, whatever you like. You can enforce HTTPS. You can do Google Analytics. Different interactions here. The data here as well, and then some other kind of items. The header gives you an options to how you want to change your color. You can do appearance. You can make it larger, smaller. Branding, again, put some more information. You can put your logo in there. Menu. Here are the links that I had up top that you can add different ones, and you can sort them to any way that you like. You can even have social icons as well. Tipton County doesn't have social media, so those things are not active. Under the theme, here, this is where you could change your colors and your fonts. Under layout is actually your meat and potatoes of different boxes that you can put into your website. So you can see as I move up and down here, I have the options I can move different boxes, I can delete boxes, and I can come over here and I can drag and drop boxes. Now each one of these layout choices are unique. It gives you the option to do certain things. Like you can add a banner or just an image. You can have a row of applications. You can do maps, charts, all this kind of summary statistics, all that kind of stuff, and just start dropping those things into your template. And then, of course, you have your footer, which I don't have one. I just used the text boxes, which are available to me into the layout up here. So once you start finishing up and you start feeling happy about your website, of course, you always want to save your changes quite frequently. And you can also view, it will open up a new window to show you what you're looking at, your progress, without making it live to the world. Now, if you do want to share it to the world, you go up here and you can see here, you're given different options. You can share it to the public, which is everyone, just within your organization, and then shared within a specific group. So in this case, my website is shared with the public because I want everybody to see it. And then I want them to use it as well. So to give you an idea, one aspect here of data sharing. So here, I've decided to share my GIS data with everyone, and you can share whatever you want, and it really gives you a nice platform and descriptions on how you want to view the data, how you want to download it, that kind of stuff. So this data is actually on my ArcGIS Online account under my content, and you can create folders within your content. And I've got a special folder here that has my hub, site application, and my group, and all the data that I'm sharing with the world. So I can separate it, so I'm not mixing it with my other content and I'm confusing myself, but all this data is being published from an ArcGIS Pro project, just shared, and published, and it's all within this hub. And you can see here, if you move over the icons, it says everyone, and then it's shared with certain groups. In this case, it's shared with this group here for everyone in the public. And then it's also, I think that's the, well, it won't tell me, but that is that Tipton County Geo Hub content sharing group. All right, so I know I did that quickly and I kind of moved stuff around and all that kind of stuff. I'm open for some questions or comments or anything that anybody wants to share. Really? Nobody has any questions or comments?
I was looking for the thing to raise my hand, but I'll just talk. I was going to ask you on the data sharing part, are you, I see where you've got to publish out all that stuff from your geodatabase into ArcGIS Online as hosted feature layers.
That is correct.
Are you, some of the data that you're sharing might be, are you sharing like your road center lines and addresses and other parts of that? How do you synchronize that? Because like those kind of data sets for our county change daily. So do you have some kind of synchronization that automatically updates what you have in that hosted feature layer? Or do you just have to republish it every once in a while?
I have to republish it every once in a while. There is no automated sequence. I imagine you could probably set something up, but what we're doing here, the ArcGIS Online Hub, it doesn't consume credits except for when you publish data. So I'm on a schedule now, probably to publish every quarterly. And I don't necessarily have to publish all my layers. It would be layers that have changed. So that'd be like addresses or building footprints or zoning or land use or something that somebody would use or download from my website. But yeah, it is really a simple process. And like I said before, I do have a dedicated ArcGIS project for Pro that has all my layers listed in there. And you know, it's really easy to go up there to the tab and hit share. Publishes the data, and the great thing too is whenever I start publishing this information, it will update my thing here. Let's see if I can pull up to that website here. So once I start publishing data, the statistics down here will start to update. So my addresses will change. So I might be up to 27,000. If I had road miles, if I added new roads, I may have more building permits. All this information will be updated on the fly once I update my information.
That's cool.
And just to show you my organization, what I had to do was publish more, purchase more credits. And I bought a block of credits of 1,000. So I bought 2,000. They were $100 for 1,000 credits. And you can see that over time, it does charge you credits for my storage. So what it's doing here is charging me credits for the storage of my GIS layers, and then it will charge me credits for whenever I publish information. So I've included enough credits here to take care of my hub and my publishing needs for the next year and a half. So you got to keep that in mind if you do decide to create a hub site, that it does consume credits for storage and for publishing information. In order for me to save some of my credits, some of these links here for my PDF maps are actually on my county website. So the URLs, the hub allows you to enter a URL for certain things. So I don't have to host this on the organizational account. It's actually hosted somewhere else. And you can also create these little boxes here or whatever, and you can link to other organizations, other cities or popular links and stuff like that. Any other questions? Well, if not, I guess I'm done.
I see Rick Weary. Looks like he's talking, but I don't hear him. Rick, you got to unmute yourself.
Everyone, I tried to unmute myself, and I think other people are trying to do this too. There's some chats in there saying that we can't unmute ourselves. So I think the host has to allow that to happen.
Oh, okay.
I think more of us will chime in if we're unmuted.
Yes.
You're
Okay.
all, you're all
That was a bad
unmuted. The global unmute has been undone. You have to physically unmute yourself now. So
Okay.
hit that button.
Yeah,
Great to hear from you, Rick. You're looking good, buddy.
Thank you. Y'all look great too.
There is a question, Rob, if I can answer it, if that's okay, guys.
Yes.
It says, how long have you had this active and have you seen an increase in traffic? All right. I don't know exactly, remember when I made this active. I know it was probably sometime in March, late March or early April. And one thing that I forgot to do was to make active the Google Analytics. And so I had to go back into the hub, into the edit session here, and add that myself. So, you can go into Google Analytics and create yourself, let's see where that was at. Maybe it was under settings. There we go. So when you go into Google Analytics, you can create an account where you can copy and paste your code, and then it will start keeping track of the site itself. And let me see if I can pull that up real quick for you. Because I'm curious to see how much people have been using it, because you know what? I haven't actually checked it. All right, so I've got actually quite a few sites that I'm tracking, but let me go to my hub. All right. So it looks like right now, I've got one active user, which is probably me right now. And let's see if I can get some data here. It's not that, it's audience.
Should have a University of Memphis tag on it somewhere.
Let's go to month. See how, maybe I can go back to March. All right, so I probably had it active around this time. I did not add the Google Analytics until May 5th. But as you can see here, I've had some traffic. So that's interesting to see. Probably not the greatest traffic, but people are getting on and using it. All right, let's see, was there any other questions or? All right, somebody, Rick Weary has asked.
Okay, go on. I was just going to say, it seems like we're needing to let people unmute again. For some reason, it's not working, but give me a sec to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mute to not cause extra sound traffic when I'm not actually speaking, so I try to do that, but as soon as I muted myself, it didn't allow me to unmute. So I put a question on the group chat for you. Can you describe the ArcGIS Pro project or the workspace that helps maintain the complexity of publishing multiple items that you're doing?
Okay. Rick, I'm going to try to do something here that I don't know if it's going to work or not. I'm on my laptop.
Right.
So the Pro project itself is actually on my desktop, but I'm going to try to team view into it if we want to try to do that.
It's up to you.
All right.
I'm just curious. I haven't seen much about Pro yet.
All right. Let me see if I can do this without blowing it up real quick.
Now, when I'm talking on my end, I tend to hear a chirp every now and then. I don't know if it's me or someone else. Am I too loud or coming across too strong?
No, you're good.
Okay.
Wow, I think this is going to work. Oh, sweet. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the project here. And see if I can share.
Meanwhile, I think I've got it set so all participants should have the ability to unmute themselves now.
Thanks, Rob.
All right. So Rick, can you see my county?
I can.
All right. So here, this is my TCGIS Hub map, ArcGIS Pro project. And here are all the layers that I'm sharing on the GIS Hub. And really, it's simple enough as clicking on the layer. You don't have to turn it on, I don't think. You can if you want to. But up here at the top where it says share, and here you can do web layer, and you can publish the web layer, or you can overwrite the web layer. So in this case, my data is already on the hub within that folder that I showed everybody on ArcGIS Online. I can just do overwrite. And on the
So
right-hand
project is carrying the target
exactly.
location for that. Okay. And then
so right
as
here,
long as you're authenticated through, you're good to go.
There you go. See, so I'm under my content. There's my hub folder. And then I just click which one I want to overwrite. And once that is completed, it does its little thing. And then I'm done.
Very nice.
Yeah. Well,
Hey, Shawn. Kevin.
hey, Kevin.
So you said that it charges you each time that you upload?
That's right. Let me go back to that page.
Is that the thing specifically?
No, it's the same thing. If you publish information to ArcGIS Online for your maps and stuff, it's the same deal.
I just don't know that I realized that. So
Let me go back to my organizational account real quick and show you some of my traffic. Let's see. I don't know if there's a way. Yeah, cool. All right. Now I know when I published my data.
I got it.
Okay, so now on a republish song, does it replace the whole data set or does it do incremental?
In my case, it replaces.
Okay. Because that would affect your credits, would it not?
Yeah.
Based on data volume?
Based on data volume. Of course, in Tipton County, our volume is not as large as some other agencies. So if you can see here that I published all those layers that you saw for 30 credits. And my largest data set, oh gosh, was probably contours. But as you can see, I did, I don't know how many layers I did. It was quite a few for minimal publishing credits. And then you can see here the consistency of the hosting, the data storage for the hub.
I gotta just ask, because the contours, is that your 1-inch contours or 5-inch contours or 10-inch?
2-footers.
2-footers, okay. I mean, I meant foot, not inch. But yeah, because that's
you're probably talking about 200 megabytes.
Yeah, that's big.
Shawn, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
So have you tried to host a feature service layer instead of actually, or do you have servers set up in Tipton County to where you can host a feature service layer and just push that through instead of actually putting the layers in ArcGIS?
Let's see here.
Because I believe
I do not have a server set up. But Scott, I think
I'm almost positive you can do that and save the storage fee completely. You can host everything as a feature service, and as you're editing it, it's pointed directly back to your SDE.
I want to check something. Because I'm curious when you just said that. I'm just going to pull up building footprints. So you can do a spreadsheet, KML, or a shapefile, or you can do a service. But that's not, okay, that's something different than what you're talking about, though.
Yeah, but I'm almost 100% positive. Like, so say if you did have if you had server set up, you could do, it's kind of like what I'm
Exactly.
doing with Olive Branch.
Mm-hmm.
Rob, he's doing a feature service layer directly to me so that I can edit it, but you can also set up that feature service layer from the server directly through ArcGIS and not have to pay that fee because you're serving it up yourself.
That's exactly right. So that's right. So he has the front end equipment to handle that. So what I'm using basically is ArcGIS Online's account, their servers for my data.
And the question I would think that you run into that is it worth having the infrastructure on site and paying the fees and with that, or is it better to pay $100 for 1,000 credits and do it yourself?
Very good point. Yeah, great question. Yes, good point.
I guess you have to find out what that data, what the data threshold is for that and how often you're going to publish. Like you chose quarterly. It doesn't seem to be too terribly costly for you. And that way it's all online. So
exactly. And,
but folks that have enterprise, they probably already have some of that licensing built in, right?
Probably. I would suspect so. I'm not sure. I don't know if premium is included with the enterprise. It's possible. But since I don't have enterprise and I don't have that system, I do not know.
It's not.
Oh, it's not?
The Premium Hub is not included with anything.
Oh, that stinks.
Oh. But, I mean, the basic hub is what I'm looking for, so this is perfect.
Yeah, I was a little worried about the interface, about creating the website itself. Now, even though I have experience as a webmaster for the county, it's on a different CMS. The content management system is totally different. But what they've done here, when you log into the hub, that URL that I shared with you with your ArcGIS Online account, start creating the website, I mean, it's just, it kind of feeds itself. You can have more than one website. you can clone what you've done, and you can have multiple sites actually. If you've got the credits and all that kind of stuff, there's nothing to really hold you back.
Yeah, the interface reminds me a lot of Squarespace, which we use to set up the Magic site.
Oh yeah.
So it's like these just widgets, you just pull them off the side and drop them onto your page and populate them. Makes it super easy to build websites.
But you can see my excitement about having all my GIS junk all over the place. You know, my data was being hosted by the University of Memphis on their little Geo Hub. I had multiple pages, locations of GIS stuff, and I just said I got tired of it. And this Geo Hub, I'm really happy with the way it turned out, and I'm satisfied. I'm happy. So I'm no longer satisfied. I'm happy.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing this, because I know, shoot, I could tell you right now, there's probably 10 people I work with that would love to have this.
Well,
Yeah, I would say that, you know, this is something I've been thinking about, but just wasn't sure if we really, you know, I just really didn't understand how it all worked. And after seeing your presentation today, I'm really motivated to go set something like that up for DeSoto County. Actually, I'm just going to tell you also, Shawn, I saw a presentation just last week on Hub that the South Central User Group put on. It was an hour-long presentation on Zoom put on by SCOG. They had an ESRI solutions engineer this hour-long presentation, but it came off like a sales pitch, and they spent 90% of it talking about Hub Premium, and I had no idea. By about a third of the way through, I was like, I have no idea how I could apply any of this to what I do. And your whole presentation just nailed. I mean, that's exactly what I needed to just kind of motivate me to start doing the same thing here. So thank you.
That's one of the gifts Shawn brings to the group. He takes the complex and makes it look extremely easy.
oh, I don't know about that. I just had a problem, and you know, there are some things that you pay for that you may not be aware of, and I know I'm not the person with this problem. I'm not the only one, and you know what? It wasn't even me. It was Timothy Zimmer. You know, his open data portal
Right.
that he had 2 or 3 years ago that he released, or however long ago. It seems longer than that, but I just kind of started putting things together and realized there's a better way of doing this.
Amen.
Okay, I'm muting.
All right. Well, thank you, Shawn. I don't know if we have any. Did we have any other questions before we go into our closing remarks here? Okay.
Who's next? Who's next? Who's sharing next?
Yeah. So
When do you want to do it?
everybody's still on this call. Thank you all for joining us. This is hopefully our first. The plan is this is our first in a series of Magic Presents virtual engagement. So we, since we can't all get together at the library to have in-person presentations, we'd like to, you know, keep rolling with a series of online presentations like this. Not sure exactly how frequent this will be yet. We have some presenters lined up that we ought to be able to get through the summer, but we are still looking for additional people to present. If you all have any ideas on things you'd like to present in this forum, we'd certainly appreciate hearing from you. And AJ, did you have anything to add to that?
No, Shawn, this is awesome. Thank you again for sharing. We really appreciate it. And thank you for everyone that attended. I think I got a lot out of it. I hope you did too.
I guess the only thing we mentioned is, you know, we typically have a conference in November, and we actually have one scheduled. We haven't put out any announcements about it yet because who knows if we're really going to be able to all get together at a conference. But we do have the Botanic Gardens booked for, does anybody remember the date?
The 12th and the 13th.
The 12th and the 13th. This is the 20th anniversary of Magic. So this is going to be our 20th anniversary conference. Hopefully we can have it, but just know that we are working on contingency plans to have a virtual conference if for some reason we can't all meet at the Botanic Garden. And it might look something like this with Zoom. Well, this is, like I said, we're just kind of getting started on this and learning our way with this and seeing if this will be a viable platform for us to keep providing content to y'all. So that's all I have. I don't know if AJ or Scott, if y'all have anything else before we let everybody get back to work.
No, everybody have a great weekend.
Hey,
Stay safe out there. Thank you.
I think Kevin.
Y'all take care. Y'all look good.
Hey, wait a second. Hold on.
Kevin?
Kevin, why
Where's
don't you
Kevin?
mention to him about your role in Tingic?
Oh, yeah.
What about it? Oh, they somehow talked me into being the vice president. So next year I will be the president of Tingic. And I'm glad you brought that up, not because I wanted to talk about that, Shawn, but because much like last year, we are as Tingic, and I don't know if she's still on, but Amanda O'Shea is on the call, and he is one of our newest board members. So I was excited to see that. But Tingic is having West Tennessee Forum because we want to support Magic. And so that's one thing that we've been working really hard on and working with the Magic board to try to make sure that we just do a good job of supporting each other. And so I'm very excited to be the president next year. And Sam Moffitt is our president this year, and he's been president before. So I'm learning from somebody who's a great example and has a lot of experience. And so encourage all of you, if you haven't participated in Tingic, to please do so. And if you have a chance to get more involved, we'd love to have you participate in any way you can.
Smile, Lauren, you're on the beach.
All right, thank you, Kevin. One other note is we are planning to make a recording of this available on our website, and hopefully going forward we'll have recordings of all of our presentations available. In fact, I heard AJ's even looking to maybe have us set up with some other platform we can put this stuff on too. But I can't remember the specifics of that. But we'll have more information about that shortly.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
All right. If nobody else has anything, we're going to go ahead and shut this down. Thank you all for joining us today. It's been great.
Bye,
Good to
guys.
see everybody. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care. Bye, y'all.
Bye.